The most common violations we see are stairs not built correctly. Either the rise and run are not at their minimums or maximums. So the minimum run on a stair tread in actually the United States for residential decks is going to be 10 inches. The maximum rise is 7 3/4 inches. And then those stairs, if they're the stair treads, if they're less than 11 inches, they're required to have between a 3/4 inch and an 1.25 inch nosing. Now, you can't have any discrepancies from any of those measurements from any stair more than 3/8 of an inch. So it's pretty tight on the the requirements for the stairs. The other one that we see most often violated is going to be the house envelope protection. So if the ledger board is not flash or spaced off the house, that's really, really crucial because water entrapment can happen between the ledger board and the house, rot out the siding and subsequently the house framing, and that's where a deck collapse typically will happen. Not to mention the water infiltration into your house, the pest infiltration in your house. The other one that we see a lot is ledger attachment, not having enough bolts or fasteners securing that deck to the house. And then the post to pier connections are very common to see where maybe somebody's just set a post in the ground or set it in concrete versus having it separated from those moisture retaining surfaces. And if you don't do that, one, you don't have proper uplift and lateral movement protection, and two, the wood could rot out very easily. The first thing that's going to cause a deck to fail inspection is going to be the piers. So if you don't have the piers inspected, or if they're not large enough, meaning deep and wide enough, and they're not inspected, it's going to fail inspection from the get-go. That's the first inspection that's required, and that's the first thing the inspector is going to look at. Now, when it comes to pier sizing, our regional depth is 36 inches, but the depth is not all that matters. The surface area is just as important as the depth. The surface area is what determines how much load that can carry. So a pier can be 4 feet deep, but if it's not big enough around or big enough surface area, it still may not be able to carry the load that's above it. So that pier surface area needs to be that wide at the base of the pier. And what we see a lot is a pier is required to be 18 inches around. Well, somebody will dig an 18-inch hole, but as they dig it, they'll get narrower and narrower. And the base of the pier is what matters. So the piers are going to be the first thing that would be flagged on an inspection if they're incorrect, whether they're not dug properly or they're not inspected.